So this morning I'm reacquainting myself with mountain biking after a winter of base miles. We're fast approaching the national series for cross country. So I'm here at Woburn and we're having a go at riding some tracks to try and get used to rattling down stuff again. It's a little bit sloppy, so I'm going to save the race bike today. I brought the hardtail out instead, and if I can handle tracks on this, I can probably handle tracks on a 120 full sus. So this is my Trek Procaliber. So this is the bike that I raced in my last year as junior, which was 2017 or 18. So it's 2017 frame, the first generation, and the first mountain bike that used the ISO speed, which is a little bit of flex at the seat stay junction. It's not suspension, just saves you back a little bit. It started its life as a 9.9 race shop limited. It was all pretty much different. The only thing that remains on this build is the frame. The bike used to be black and red. When I put the blue fork on it, I couldn't really be doing with big red logos. So I've just put electrical tape over the logos. No one can tell, especially when it's dirty. So it's very much bits off of previous race bikes or stuff that was kicking around at work that I got out the bin. Cassettes out the scrap bin. It's got a few snap teeth. The mech is two mechs pieced together off of e-bikes. And then the shifter, actually, that's an e-bike shifter. So it means you can only shift one gear at a time. It's a little bit annoying. Wouldn't be able to race it, I don't think, but it's kind of fine for normal riding. So they're both XO1 and the cassette's XX1. So it's already a fairly high-end scrap bin. The cranks came off from a race bike. So these are XTR. They're the non-boost version. It's a boost frame, so the chainring does sit quite close to the chainstay, but it's not that bad. It's Shimano XTR chain on there, purely because the only spare SRAM chains I had were gold, and I didn't really want gold on the bike. Oh, and it's a 38 tooth chainring and a 10 to 50 tooth cassette. Forks are probably the most high-end bit on the bike, I guess. So these are the 2024 RockShox Sid SL. So they still use a 32mm stanchion. I've got these up at 110mm travel. These I got hold of when my previous generation big Sid, so the 35mm version, developed bushing plate, and as a warranty replacement I got the SL instead because I knew I was going to put it on this bike, so I went for the lighter fork. The wheels are really out of place because these are Halo, I don't even know what they are, but these are the most enduro friendly Halo wheels. So they've got a 33mm internal width, which is massive. They're really heavy. They've got about a bazillion engagements in the hub, but they were kicking around at work. They were all broken. I fixed them up and put them on this because they were centre lock, and I wanted some centre lock wheels to use these discs on. And actually, before I talk about discs, I'll talk about the tyres, because these are Pirelli Scorpion XC RC Light, which is a bit of a mouthful. Basically, they're the fastest rolling tyre that they do for mountain bikes in the lightest casing. Not very good in the wet like today. They've got decent shoulder knobs on them, but they're still basically a gravel tyre. So the discs, the frame takes a 140mm rotor, and I don't really like having spacers, so I'm running a 140. And yeah, that's Shimano Dura-Race Road one, which I think is quite cool. No one else probably does, but hey. And then the front is an XTR / Dura-Race. So in the previous generation Dura-Race, this is what all the road pros were using instead of the ones with a massive vents, because this is a little bit stiffer, but it's an XTR, and this is a 160 on the front. And the brakes they're paired to are Shimano SLX, so not mega high end. They're probably the cheapest bit on the bike. So the seat post, I've put a dropper on it now, because I've kind of converted on that. This is the first dropper I ever had. It's a couple of years old. It's got quite a lot of play, but it is very light, and it's upside down, which is quite cool. The saddle on top of that, it's probably my favourite saddle design. It's a fabric scoop. They don't actually make them anymore, but I really like it. This is the carbon version. Then I guess finally the cockpit. It's a Ritchie World Championship Series cockpit. So it's all alloy stuff. The bar's quite nice actually. It's a lovely sweep. It's only 5-degree back sweep, which I quite like. It's cut to 680mm width. And it's got -5mm of rise, so you could run 5mm like positive rise, or minus if you flip it upside down. So when we're fighting to get our front end low, lovely. And then it's a stem to match, so that's 90mm long and -25-degree rise. Other bits then, it's a Bontrager plastic bottle cage just made out of fishnets or something. I've got Garmin power meter pedals on there, the same pedals I run on every bike. It's a Brand X cheap dropper lever. It's not very nice. Normal O-ring mount, Garmin mount. Cane Creek top cap, Hope bearing cover, Hope bearing, probably a Hope bearing in there as well. Probably all out of the bin. And that's kind of it. Hardtail.